a magical new world. In Hollywood history.
Hold on to your butts.
Now give it up for my co-host, Justin!
Thank you, everyone! And thank you, Susan. From the very beginning, the basic concept behind the filmmaking process has always remained the same: to make the audience believe everything they see is real.
Filmmakers today have more tools than ever before. Super vast computers, high-tech cameras, but they still rely on a category of effects so distinctive they're known as special.
And one of the earliest forms of special effects are practical effects, which are shot on set right in front of the camera. Our first example of practical effects is models. Universal's 1933 film, The Mummy, made use of miniature effects, including scale models, like this one right here, from the title sequence. Nowadays, we know that's a model because the real pyramids do not say The Mummy on the back of them. When Universal relaunched The Mummy, the Sphinx from the opening shot that you see there is this Sphinx model you see here. This is the actual model that was used in the making of the film. The attention to detail is incredible. I think Susan would agree. Models are a great way to fool the camera, am I right?
Absolutely. Another filmmaking tool that also fools the camera is the glass mask. In the terrifying film The Birds, the brilliant Alfred Hitchcock created matte paintings to achieve the eerie look he wanted for the town of Bodega Bay. Take a look at the side screens. In this literal bird's eye view of the town, only the fire and the parking lot were real. Everything else was painted on glass to create a matte and then dropped into place. And footage of the birds was incorporated to complete the effect.
So we've shown you two examples of practical effects, a model and a glass matte.
There's also a category of practical effects that involves performers and not just props. Practical stunts!
Did somebody say stunts?
Please welcome our special effects show stunt department!
Yeah!
Hey!
How come we don't get an awesome entrance like that?
We have nice clothes on.
Touche.
Speaking of awesome entrances, Alex, you got a cool entrance you want to do?
Show them something cool.
Yeah, why not?
Nice, Alex. Well, you may not recognize their faces, but you've probably seen them in numerous film and TV projects, perhaps doubling for some of your favorite stars. You just met Alex Wasserman, and we have Rad Floria and our stunt coordinator, Michael DeCamp. Now, Michael, wouldn't you agree? Stunt performers almost always double for actors when it comes to stunts.
Absolutely. Most actors do not like to get kicked in the face.
Kicked in the face?
Like so. And he's up and ready for take two.
Wow. Could you break that down for us, technically speaking?
Sure, he's gonna stand there and I'm gonna kick him in the face.
That's just how it's done. Okay, you guys can get set up. Now, in staging a fight, the art of illusion is very important. All the moves have to be realistic enough to fool the camera, but without getting anyone injured. So these guys have to make it look believable. Let me set our scene. Exterior, dark alley, dead of night. A few nefarious characters are hanging around. Ready and action!
What's up, buddy?
Right?
That would be correct, Susan.
Great work, you guys. Don't worry, they'll be back. Did you guys notice the sound effects in that scene? Those dynamic punches, the dumpster hit. Justin, what do we call those added sounds?
Foley! You might be familiar with the term Foley, the process of adding sound effects to movies after the film is shot. But do you know its origin? Jack Foley wore many hats. Director of silent films, writer of westerns, even stunt double. But when he started doing sound effects for Universal in the 20s, that's when he began to make a name for himself. For over 30 years, Jack Foley worked on Soundstage 10 here on the lot. And if he couldn't recreate a sound on his stage, he went out and got it. Using a technique called direct-to-picture, Foley and his crew would record sound effects directly to the finished film in a single take. One mistake meant they had to start the whole process all over again from the beginning. Here to help us experience what that must have been like, please welcome our first group of volunteers!
Give it up for the Uniman family from Vegas!
Welcome, family! They are going to help us demonstrate how the simple items on this cart can be repurposed to sound like something completely different than you might think. For example, in Foley, a water bottle is used to articulate the sound of bones breaking. Listen to this. Pretty cool, huh? Kids, you could try that at home. The water bottle part, not the actual breaking of bones. All right, let's take a look at the footage we need to Foley. It's Melissa McCarthy and Jason Bateman in Identity Thief, along with actual Universal Foley artists hard at work. Watch the side screens.
Now, I have a plan.
All right, looks pretty simple. Trust me, it's not. Let's take a look at the tools the family over here is going to use. First off, we have a crash box. It makes the sound of crashes. Then we have shoes on sticks for the running sounds. These are rolled up phone books for the sounds of the body falls. These boxing gloves sound like the throat punch and the face slaps. And over here on the end, we have a cowbell and a metallic spoon for the toaster hit. And finally, these handcuffs sound like handcuffs. Now, I've already spoken with the Uniman family over here. They know how to use all of these tools, so keep one eye on the clip, and when it's your turn, hit it nice and loud for the microphone. All right, guys, are you ready to have some fun? All right, let's roll the clip, roll sound, and action. Let's hear it for him, yeah! All for it. Come on down with me. Come with me. We're going to head downstage and take a look at your masterpiece. Let's stand right along this line, right here. We are going to add in audio with dialogue, score, and can we add their Foley and playback as well? Great! Watch the side screens, everyone.
Get over here and give me your ribs. Okay? Now, I have a plan.
Sandy, Này làm lại cái này thua là quên chơi là cười.
Let's hear it for him! Come on down, guys. Great.
Great job, you guys! Well, Universal has made great films in every genre, but the studio really made its mark over the years, creating some of the industry's most terrifying thriller and horror films. Let's take a peek. Emerging from the shadows, just behind me, are the stars of our horror family, the classic Universal monsters. We have maquettes of Chucky and his bride, Dracula, Michael Myers, Emotep from The Mummy, Phantom of the Opera, and Mother Bates. The perfect setting for our next demonstration.
Everybody say hi, Carrie!
Hi, Carrie! Now, Carrie was picked for her very impressive scream. So, let's say that you were face to face with Norman Bates. Let's all hear how you would scream!
Nice, nice.
Yes! Now, as we saw in that fight earlier, stunt performers have to have a very high pain threshold. So my question is, do you?
Well, do you?
Because this next demonstration involves movie blood. Now, does anyone know what Alfred Hitchcock used for movie blood in the original Psycho? Shout it out! Oh, right down here, chocolate syrup!
Yeah, see, Psycho was a black and white movie, so they could get away with it. Nowadays, movie blood has to be much more realistic.
Thank you for giving us a hand.
Literally. Now, kids, do not try this at home.
Yeah, try it at a friend's house.
Go ahead, put your arm out. There you go. Nice.
Yeah, moving it up so we can all hear it fall on the table. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Susan, not with a machete.
Gary, I'm not gonna use this crazy machete. I have a sharper knife.
Yeah.
Take a look at the side screens. Everybody scream on 3, Carrie. 1, 2, 3. She's okay. Oh, phew. This is a classic cinematic horror technique, a Hollywood blood knife. Take a look. This is a false blade with a cutout for her arm that comes out of the handle. Meanwhile, I'm squeezing movie blood from this bulb back here, and it comes out of a tube right where the notch is and makes a huge mess. Wasn't she amazing? Give it up for Carrie, everybody!
Yeah, this is very realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going backstage.
Oh, and Carrie, come with me right this way, okay? Now, I promised you a photo, right, for putting you through all of that. So if you want to set up the camera on your phone, I will take your picture, okay? There we go. So you get a photo with our classic Universal monsters since you're part of the horror segment. So you can stand right up here for me, right over here. We got a spotlight for you right there, okay? And you can do whatever pose that you want to do, Carrie. That's great. Smiling. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Carrie! I'm so sorry, Carrie. I'm so sorry about that. Michael Myers, you go home. Carrie, you should have seen your face. Everybody take a look at the side screens. You are smiling in the face of Michael Myers. You are so brave, Carrie. Give it up for Carrie one more time, everybody. Well, so far we've shown you practical effects. Now we're going to switch to visual effects, which are done in a computer, specifically motion capture. So to help me demonstrate mocap, welcome back my co-host, Justin! You looking good, Justin?
You gotta own it, Susan.
Yep. Let's activate our perimeter sensors now, okay? So the dots on his suit reflect light back to these sensors, which then goes into a computer and captures all of their movements. So let's see that capture on our screens down here for us. Let me show you how this works. So the computer connects the dots on his suit and creates that digital skeleton you see now. You can do a T-pose first.
Sure.
Great. So we always start with this T-pose just to mark the beginning of each take. Makes it much easier for us to go back. Justin?
I put my suit on backwards.
Oh, roll with it. And next, take your left hand, touch the tip of your nose. Great, and now the right hand. And let's repeat the arms there one more time. So we start with some simple movements so that we can calibrate the system. And that's great. Let's go back to neutral. Next, we do full body movement. So start with some jumping jacks.
Okay.
And then in a little bit, just jog in place. So what digital animators do is they start with this skeleton, but then they can change the aspect ratio. And on top, add a wire frame. And then finally, they will add skins. So using this technology, we can turn Justin and his movements into anything that we want. So Justin, we've turned you into a cuddly, friendly teddy bear.
A teddy bear?
Yeah. But not just any teddy bear, you are the star of Universal's Ted!
Ah, okay.
You're waiting outside the nightclub!
Oh, yeah!
Oh, I like it! Keep going! Alright.
How about a little of this?
Nice.
This is for the ladies! Woo!
Oh.
Yeah! Come on! Uh-huh.
Okay, you have channeled that inner Ted, Justin. Hey Ted, what do you think of the show so far?
That's why I watch these things. It's like a cool behind-the-scenes thing that you wouldn't know.
Thunder Buddies, Ted?
Thunder Buddies for life.
Nice. Let's hear for Ted and my co-host Justin. Fun fact: Seth MacFarlane had a modified mocap suit made by Phil Tippett Studios so that he could act and direct at the same time. So let's take a look at the genius behind Ted.
We were able to do Ted in a completely lifelike way and to use technology in a way that it really hasn't been used to date. What that technology does so well is it takes fantastical characters and makes them as realistic in movement as possible.
As far as technology has come with CGI and visual effects, some things just look better when they're real, like fire. Let's take a look at fire stunts in some Universal films. One of the most exciting and most dangerous aspects of filmmaking is undoubtedly a fire stunt. And we're going to bring back out our top-notch stunt department to show you how they execute a live fire burn. So Rad in the center is the stunt performer we will be setting on fire. We have our coordinator Michael and Alex acting as our safeties for this demonstration. Now if you look at Rad's face, you may be wondering, is that guy so nervous he's sweating profusely? That is protective fire gel that he's got on all of his exposed skin areas. You may know what it's like if you miss a spot with sunscreen. Imagine if you missed a spot while on fire. Before we fuel, we check our equipment in case of a premature ignition.
Extinguisher 1, check. Extinguisher 2, check.
Copy that. At the completion of the stunt, Brad will make his way to this fire blanket where he will be extinguished. At that point, we're looking for a thumbs up that he's okay. If we get a thumbs down, that's an alert to get our medical team involved.
Excuse me, we're gonna fuel. Alex, you ready? Ready.
At this point, I do need to stress that these are trained professionals using very special equipment, fuels, gels, and wardrobe pieces. This is not the type of thing anyone should ever think about trying on their own. And we ask everyone to please remain in your seats for the duration of this stunt. Now this is Rad's 21st burn. He's gonna go for 8 to 10 seconds. So I'll throw it to our booth. Could we set our lights in the house for the shot? We will set our clock to 0 on the side screens. And we will begin that clock as soon as he is lit. Now whenever you guys are ready.
Alex, you ready?
Ready.
Rad, are you ready to burn?
Ready and action!
Lighting, you're lit!
scene that's truly out of this world. With the help of our final volunteers, Nakash and Manisha, come on up. Give them a big round of applause, everybody. Yeah, from Atlanta, is that right? Excellent. Nakash, obviously you're going to play an astronaut here. Any fear of heights? No. Good answer. Then I'm going to hand you off to our coordinator, Michael. He's going to put your helmet on you. Manisha, you can come with me. And I'm going to have you stand on this mark right here. Perfect. Now, Manisha, boy, do I have a surprise for you. So coming in is our Fisher flying rig. It's a very sophisticated computer-controlled cable system that creates the illusion of flight. Now that sounds complicated, don't worry, there's an app for that. All right, so I'm gonna show you and everybody how this works. I'll disable it. We're gonna use this to move him up and down, all right? And the grid here to move him all around, okay? All right, she looks excited. So I'll re-enable that and hand this to you. Now, don't worry, I'm gonna tell you what to do the whole time, okay? All right? Now, you and Nakash, how do you know each other? Are you dating? Or married? How long have you been married? Just a year in August. Congratulations. Yeah. That'll be a long time in Hollywood. Congratulations. For the first time in almost a year, you get to be in charge of the remote control. Yeah, that's the remote dance. All right, you can stay right here for me. All right, let's check in with your astronaut, Nakash. Any final words for your wife of almost 1 year? He said he loves you very much. What? Oh, and he wants to take you shoe shopping in Beverly Hills tomorrow. Yeah! Money is no object. Oh, Nakash, what a great guy. He said it. All right, let's get our backplate up. We're going to use rear projection for the shot. Nakash, face us, okay? You can see later. All right, so Manisha, let's take him up, press this, bring it halfway. Bring it halfway, and then you can take your finger off it. Oh, Nakash, can you keep her shoulder? Oh, don't touch the cables. Don't touch the cables. Can you keep her shoulders back? Can you do that? And your chin up. Chin up and shoulders back, that'll help you, okay? Yeah! Look at his fearless pose. That was great. All right, so let's move it forward. Press this, and you're just going to drag it across here. Just cross that middle line as well, and that's good. Okay, you're in the frame, Nakash, so wave to Earth, okay? That's what our shot is for. Why don't we try that one more time, okay? So grab this and just drag it back to the first square, okay? Nakash, I'm going to help you back up. I think you need it, okay? I'm right here. Hi! Hey, friend. All right, shoulders up. Don't touch those cables. Remember what you did? Oh, your shoulders back and your chin up? Yeah, that was great. So let's take him a little higher. So press this and bring it up. And then, no, then you need to bring it down. Yeah, bring it to half. Oh, Nakash, bring it all the way down for me. Yeah. Okay, this isn't working. Can you keep your head up? Stop. Press disable. Okay, keep your finger on it. Keep your finger on it, all right? Don't let go. Nakash, you're coming to me. I'm right in front of you. Hi. Okay, he's down. We're going to stop right there. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Remember, Nakash, where are you going? Manisha, I have to take this away from you, okay? I don't know if you guys are going to make it to that year anniversary. All right, you guys have it in the booth? I transferred it. Nakash, keep your shoulders back. Shoulders back. Yes. He's got that now, Manisha. You can do that. Come with me, okay? We're going to stop. We're going to look at one and stay right here for me, okay? Breathe, Nakash. I'm going to help you with this helmet, which will help you breathe, okay? I think you're out. Remember the art of forgiveness, all right? And remember, special effects are all about you believing everything you see is real.
Bye. Give it up for my friend.